Hi everybody, this is Felicia and this is the first of my series for the double page layouts. I have these photos here of my granddaughter and they're pretty old, but she was so cute. She was like about almost one in these photos here, and I have about 5 of them. And this is what I'm going to, sorry for the glare there after getting it, but this is what I'm going to be doing my double page layout, the first double page layout that I'm going to be doing. Because I have all these photos of her, of their different smiles and her 6 teeth. So, which I thought was pretty cute because you can see right here that she's super like happy with that. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. And then we're going, and that way you can kind of see where I'm going with this, with the double pages. Like I said, I used to do them so long ago. Well, it actually feels like forever. And so I decided to go ahead and get back to doing them. And so this is, like I said, the first series. So I'm going to kind of speed this up so you can see the process. And my process might be a little longer, but it's worth it because the double pages is how I'm going to get all these photos on it. Alrighty, so I'm going to speed it up. Okay, so what I decided to go ahead and do with this is get 2 of the same cardstock colors here. So I'm using this pink and this white cardstock from American Crafts. I'm cutting up this paper. Now this paper is the pattern paper from the Paige Evans Take Me Away collection. And I decided to go with these little octagon shapes. Now what I'm doing with these octagon shapes is I'm cutting them like with the kind of making them look like sporadic, like a, what can I say, like a honeycomb type of deal thing there. And so I meant to take this out, some of this, but I decided to go ahead and leave it in there so you can see exactly how I am going to cut this. Now, doing the double page layouts doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to be even on both sides. You can make them different. In other words, it could be a double page layout and it could start from one side and continue to the second page. You can make it look like that. I mean, by all means, if you want them to look identical, you can make your double page look identical. But if you just wanted to have a double page that continues from left to right or from right to left or from top to bottom, you can do that as well with a double page layout. And like I said, I used to do a lot of double page layouts back in the day, and I got away from it, but now, and they're very easy for me to do. I really enjoy doing double pages because there's a ton of photos, like you saw in the beginning of this video, that I have that I would like to scrap all at one time instead of just one photo. So I am just about done here cutting out these different shapes here, and you can see that I have kind of cut it out to where they look like they're sporadic. So, and that's what I did with that. So now on to getting these glued down. I decided to go ahead and leave a little white edge here because I've decided to do that. That's what I wanted to do. You can do anything you want with your double page layouts. You can use one cardstock, you can use 2 cardstocks. Me, I use 2 cardstocks. And what I do is I do try to make sure that I have the papers even, because that's where it's going to look like your double page continues if you want a continuation look. There's kind of the layout here and how I want the photos to be. And so what I'm going to do now with this is I'm going to start kind of positioning how I want the layout to turn out and how I want these little pieces that I've cut out from the Paige Evans collection here. I think they remind me of little honeycombs. I think this does. So I think that's why I like this shape. So I cut out a few loose ones too, as well, as you can see. I'm putting some of the hearts, the wood veneer hearts there from the collection as well. And that little piece right there is from the 6x6 paper pad, and it is a smaller version of the bigger version that I cut out. I'm using a tag that says Hello You, and then part of my title is going to be that circle right there. I'm putting some things over here, and so in order to give your double page, that double page look, you want to have some of the elements continue to the second page. And how you do that is you do kind of sort of what I've done, where I've taken the elements here and I've continued them on to the second page, like the honeycomb, the heart, That way you know that these two pages belong together. They may have the same photos on them, but at the same time, you want the double page to look like it's a continuation. And so what you do is you just take some of the elements and you spread them out amongst both of the pages. So I'm matting the photo as well, so I can give it a little white edge. Since the cardstock itself has a little white edge, I thought I'd do the kind of mimic that same thing for the photos. And so each one of these photos are 4x4. I cut them down. They were 4x6s, but I've cut them down because I had a lot of empty space. And that's another thing that you can do with your photos. You don't have to have 4x6 photos, and you don't have to have 5x7 photos. You can cut them down to fit the way you want. And so what I've done with those two photos, I've made the two photos at the top, the one where she's holding up her arm and the one where she has her finger in her mouth. I made those two photos to be even. And so those are going to be even and line up against each other. So that, sorry about that, they cut off on me, but I made those photos to be even at the top there, the one where she has her hand up, the one with the finger in her mouth, so it could look like the double page continues across. And that's one of the things about doing double pages, is you want to make it look like it continues from one page to the other. And that gives it a very good, that gives it a, what you call that? I can't even think about it right now, but I'll come back to it. So that's how you kind of, if you want to do your double pages where one looks like a scrapbook page and one looks like a pocket page, I can show you how to do that. So what I'm doing is just pretty much showing you the basics on how to make your double page look like one complete page by continuing all of the elements that you start with from one page to the next page, which is what I'm doing with this right now. So as you can see right here, I'm going to put the pages together, and then you'll see that the two are going to line up once I put the two pages together there. So now, and then on one of the pages you can see that I have two photos, and on the other page you can see that I have three photos. So once again, it doesn't have to have the same number of photos on each page. A double page layout is just basically using all the photos that you have and then continuing from one page once again to the other page. So that's pretty much what a double page layout consists of. So this is part of the title here, and part of the title is, this is on that little circle, it says faith is bigger than fear. So I'm going to finish off the title, top it off with some thickers there once I get the rest of these elements and things glued down on the page. And I'm putting another one of those wood veneer hearts, so that way it's a continuation of the wood veneer heart that I have on the left side, and it's going to continue over here on the right side. And then because of the fact that the right side looks a little bit heavier than the left side, I decided to go ahead and add the framed part of that heart as well on this one, except up towards the top, so it can kind of give the double page layout more even, more evenness, I should say. And as you can see, I added an emoji on each page. That also gives it some continuation. Now, when you do a double page layout, it doesn't necessarily have to have the same amount of elements. So if you wanted to have different kinds of elements, you can. If you wanted to have the same elements, you can do that as well. So what I have done is I have enough elements on here to where they're continuing from one page to the other, so that the double pages look like they belong together. So you can do that. I mean, it's up to you, but just make sure that when you do your double page layouts, that you try your best to have a few of the same elements spreading from one page to the other. So now I'm going ahead and sprinkling some of these. Okay, see, now I can't even get my thoughts straight here. Anyway, I'm using some of the Heidi Swap mist to sprinkle some of this, and it's called Black Velvet. And I got a little bit on the photo, so I'm wiping it off there. And then, of course, you know, there it goes, it comes off. But I am done with this layout, and I hope you enjoyed this series. Please let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. I'm adding some white enamel hearts right here, as you can see, to also add a little bit more to the layout because this is my little cutie granddaughter. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to show you here one page at a time. This is the first page, of course, and then this is the second page as well. So there you have it, a double page layout for you guys. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to tune in for the next one, and have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.